everybody. Happy Wednesday. Today is going to be a really interesting day. We're going to be learning about wind. So we've talked about wind before, right? We've talked about when we put on our binoculars and we look outside our window to see the weather, we know that it could be snowy, it could be rainy, it could be cloudy, it could be sunny, or it could be windy, right? So did you know that wind is moving air? So if I were to go outside right now and it was really windy, how would I be able to tell that it was windy? Maybe my hair would blow in the wind or my scarf would move around. I bet that if we took a few things outside, we could see if the wind is blowing today. All right, so what we're going to need today is we're going to gather up a few things in our house that could maybe move in the wind, or maybe we could do a little experiment, see if a heavier thing will move in the wind. We can see if it's really windy outside, if it's not too windy. I grabbed a few things. I put a hair tie in my jar for our experiment, a puzzle piece, because I've been doing a lot of puzzles, a battery, because I wanted to see if the wind could move something this heavy, a nickel, and I also grabbed a feather and a cotton ball because these two things are really, really light and I know they'll move easily, but I wanted just to show you how quickly they move in the wind. So I'm going to put these back in my container and I'm going to head outside for our little experiment. Before I head outside, I've created a chart that says, will I move with the wind? And I've listed my pieces that I put in my container. I put a battery, a puzzle piece, a hair tie, and a nickel. And this says yes or no. So do we think the battery is going to move in the wind? I am not really sure. I don't think it really will. So I am going to put no. Will the puzzle piece move with the wind? I think the puzzle piece is light enough that it will move in the wind, so I'm going to say yes. Hair tie, will I move with the wind? I think the hair tie will move with the wind, so I'm going to say yes. And the nickel, I think the nickel's pretty heavy, so I don't think the nickel is going to move with the wind. All right, so I think my puzzle piece and my hair tie will move, and I think the battery and the nickel are going to stay still. So let's head outside. We're going to check back with this and see if these two moved and these two did not. But I could be wrong, and these two could move also, and these two couldn't. But let's go check it out. This is what our experiment's for. Okay, so I've come outside, and I'm feeling with my body if I think it's windy. I can kind of see that it's windy with my scarf. I can see it with my hair a little bit. See, my little frizzies are going everywhere. And I can feel it. It's definitely cooling the wind. So we know that wind could be helpful and it could also be harmful. Wind could cool down the temperature a little bit. It can move sailboats, kites fly in the air when we do that in the summertime on the beach, right? But wind could also be kind of harmful. Really strong wind can break down trees, branches can fall. Hurricanes and tornadoes happen, but today it's not that windy, so let's see with our experiment what the wind's gonna move, okay? So I have all my objects here. I'm gonna empty them out. I'm gonna do one by one. So let's see. If I put this feather in my hand, what do we think? We think this really, really light feather is gonna move, right? Let's see how quickly. Whoop! It didn't even go in my hand. The wind moved that right away. So the feather we knew was going to move, it moved. Let's see. We've got a hair tie. I thought the hair tie was going to move. But right now, let's see maybe if I make a little wind with my mouth, blowing on it, it moves. Not really. A little, right? All right, so that moved. How about the puzzle piece? Let's see if just the wind itself. know, maybe me. No movement, right? Okay, well, I thought it was gonna move, but that's okay that I'm wrong. That's what we're doing an experiment for. It's just my hypothesis that it will move. So let's check out the battery next. I'm gonna lay it like this. No movement, right? Nope, this one's heavy enough that I was right that this one was gonna stay still. I'll put that back in my container. And then let's check out our nickel. I'm gonna try blowing really hard on this one. Nope, it stayed still. So, the hair tie moved, the puzzle piece didn't move, the battery didn't move, and the nickel didn't move either. So the only thing that moved with the wind today was my hair tie. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back inside, we're gonna check out our chart we made, and we'll compare and contrast my hypothesis to see which ones moved and which ones didn't move. All right, so we're back inside checking out our chart that we made before our experiment. So I had said for the battery before we tested that it was not going to move in the wind, and I was right. So we're gonna keep that one as right. It did not move in the wind. The puzzle piece I thought was going to move in the wind, but it didn't, right? So this one is wrong, and it didn't move in the wind. The hair tie I said was going to move in the wind, and that did move in the wind, right? So I'm gonna mark that as right. And the nickel I said wasn't going to move in the wind. So this one is right also. All right, so looking at these objects, why do we think that some moved in the wind and some did not? Maybe some are heavier than others. Maybe some are more buoyant. They stay put easier. A hair tie is so light. It's just like a feather or a cotton ball. It can move so easily. A puzzle piece will maybe move if it's a little bit more windy outside. But for right now, today, this is what our experiment did. So the only thing that moved in the wind was our hair tie. So boys and girls, now it's your turn. What I want you to do first is go around the house and collect a few items that you want to test out for our experiment. You can grab some lighter objects, some heavier objects, maybe even go outside, grab some rocks or some twigs. And first thing you're going to do is then create your chart, just like I did here. This is our hypothesis, right? We're going to list our objects, and we're going to say either yes, they will move with the wind, or no, they won't move with the wind. Then is the fun part. You get to go outside and you get to test each object just like I did. Hopefully it's a little more windy outside, so more objects will fly. And then you're going to go back inside and you're going to compare which ones moved and which ones didn't move. And just like Miss Gabby was wrong about the puzzle piece, it's totally okay if you get one wrong also, because every day is different and the wind is different every day. Alrighty, I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Send me pictures, take lots of videos. Hopefully it's a little bit more windy for you. Alrighty, guys, I can't wait to see your charts and your experiments. Alright, talk to you later.